I'm gonna show you guys how to make this easy sourdough sandwich bread. It's absolutely delicious. Let's do it. Starting out with 150 grams of active sourdough starter, 325 grams of very warm water. This is imperative because it's gonna speed up the process and your bread is gonna rise faster and you could probably make it today, honestly. I like to use my hand for this, so I'm just gonna mix up the sourdough starter right into the water until it mostly dissolves. I'm gonna do 5 grams of salt. You could add a little bit more if you want, but in my opinion, there's nothing worse than over-salted bread. And that means a lot coming from me because I love a lot of salt on my food. I'm gonna do 30 grams of some good old honey. That came out to 32 grams, but 30 grams. 20 grams of oil. I'm gonna be using avocado oil, but you could also use olive oil. I've never done it with coconut oil, but you could probably even do this with coconut oil as well. 20 grams of oil. You could probably honestly do it with melted butter too, but I have not tried that. That sounds delicious though, to make like a butter bread. That would be good. Last 500 grams of bread flour. Gonna give this all a mix, again with my hand. I don't own a bread whisk. I just always use my hand, so. I'm sure that there is a purpose for the bread whisk, but for me, it's just something else to keep in my kitchen drawer. So the dough came together, and so I'm just gonna cover this. Yes, Gray. I'm gonna cover this with a damp paper towel, set it aside for an hour. All right, it's been an hour. I'm gonna do my first set of stretch and folds, which is really simple. You're just picking the dough up and folding it over onto itself. I usually do it about once on each side, so that's 4. And then I'll probably go about 2 more times, so total of 6. I'm gonna cover this back up. This is gonna sit another hour. It's been another hour. Another round of stretch and folds. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this and I'm gonna let it sit for as long as it takes to double in size. It sat on my countertop for 4 hours and it looks perfect. Come on. Woo! Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Realistically, you could bake this right now. I am gonna put it in my fridge overnight and then bake it in the morning. It's so nice and soft. I am still learning how to laminate or like fold my dough up properly, but this is just how I do it. So, and it's different when I'm making an artisan loaf. I'm just gonna kind of fold it up, and then I'm gonna roll it into a little log. And then I'm gonna take my loaf pan here. I'm gonna pop it in. Perfect. I'm gonna cover this and I'm gonna let this sit in my fridge overnight, and then tomorrow morning I'll bake it off. But obviously for you guys, because we're doing some time traveling here, I'm gonna take a loaf out and put it in the oven. So I can show you guys. This is a loaf that I made yesterday and I had sitting in the fridge overnight. You don't have to let it sit in the fridge overnight. In fact, I made one yesterday just like 4 hours after mixing the dough. But I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, great. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I brushed my bread with a little bit of water, and then because you're not making this in a Dutch oven, obviously this is in a loaf pan, you're gonna kind of wanna like make the foil into a little dome. That way your bread has room to rise. So it just has to be loosely covered. Yes, buddy. I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes. This baked at 400 for 30 minutes covered, and then I lowered the temperature down to 375, and I cooked it for another 25 to 30 minutes. I don't have a wire rack, so I just let it cool like that. While this is still nice and hot, I'm gonna take a little bit of butter and brush it or rub it all over the top.